Astrology time, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com. And today is Tuesday. It's the 10th of February. So what do I got for you? Well, it's Tuesday and the moon in Scorpio is going to be void of course at 2:22 in the morning. It's just about the time that I'll be recording this. Actually, it was after. I was still writing this right about then. I was actually looking up some factoids and stuff like that. Now, tells you what my sleep schedule's like, right? Yeah, so just about, look, I needed clarity. I got to get my Mercury and Pisces messages clearly from the source, right? The source is deep inside of me, because that's the way that mind works, right? It doesn't work logically. It just works intuitively, and this is what I feel like I have to do to put out the best product, if you want to call this a product, or the best expression of what the astrology is for the day. I prefer that. I think that's a much better thing. If it were it'd be a product if I were selling it. I'm just giving it away. So these are just impressions. So let's talk about this. Beauty. Let's talk about beauty. Beauty is a funny thing. It can be purely external, or it can emanate from a deeper place. Venus enters Pisces today, just in time for Friday the 13th. I mean Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying. Look, Venus in Pisces is deeply in love. She is exalted here. This is where Venus can be at her most attractive and most creative. The combination of the two will begin to speak to us through traditional symbols as well as through new symbols that we create. We're in that creative phase. Once again, this is a day for planning, not really executing. We got a square with Mars early on, and that's just, the actions, they're hard to come by. It's difficult to take action when there's nothing much happening, right? We're getting through the crazy part of winter now, right? Everything's just going to start warming up a little bit. I believe we're going to have some more snow, possibly in the forecast, or some overcast and rain or something like that. But temperatures generally here in the Northeast are starting to trend upward. And that's good because we're starting to get through February. And as we head towards March, then we'll find out where we're at. So anyway, the cats are arguing behind me and they just messed me up. Don't argue, Ziggy. My goodness, that's the one you hear meowing at the end of all these episodes. It's Ziggy. All right, so anyway, he's usually complaining at Willie, and Willie's just a sweetheart. But Ziggy just complains. He's eating, and so he gets very feisty when he eats. So once again, we talked about the planning. Take advantage of the early morning, however, because the signals will start to get crossed up towards the evening. And today's keyword is budding. Hopefully not the trees, because that's really, really bad for the fruit and stuff like that. We don't want it to get that warm. And our color is royal blue. Now, Aquarius season doesn't like the moon in Sagittarius, okay? It's kind of loosey-goosey and not, and it's just not detached. It just passionately goes for whatever it wants to, right? It's not purposeful and it's not driven. It's not that fixed sign energy. It's more like a mutable sign. It's like, okay, we're going to go do this, and maybe we'll go see this, and hey, you know what? Let's just find out where luck takes us, right? That's right, ruled by Jupiter. Lucky. So, why leave stuff to chance? Well, that irks Aquarius, right? Things work gradually if planets in Sagittarius can focus their optimism in a logical way that appeals to an air sign. It's still a sextile, right? Just got to find a way to make it work. Now, planets in Pisces secretly crave the extroverted sense of adventure of Sagittarius. But this doesn't come easily. However, the two are willing to communicate because they're mutable signs, right? Look, maybe at odds. May not be, Pisces introverted, Sagittarius extroverted, trying to get out there, trying to go out there. Pisces sinking into places. We got that winter going on. We don't want to go outside, do we? No, we don't want to. But the two can come to a kind of agreement, and that's where we see the mutable signs, even though they're in that crossing pattern, square, they're still going to be like, oh, well, maybe we can get it to work this way. Venus entering Pisces joins Mercury. Gestures and symbols will speak to us, right? Love deepens, and all the world becomes a stage as we watch how romance and love is expressed in the biggest arenas of the world via the smallest gestures. We can do it. There is an optimism that the moon in Sagittarius will tap into. Our emotions will recognize no limits. Love becomes vitally important, and not just because of one little day. It's the return of Venus to her most exalted place. Love for the sake of love in the most poetic way. For many, this leads us down a very creative path, and this is at the core of what we have been discussing as far as the creativity, especially with Neptune and Aries. Tap into the creative flow that is beginning to move undeniably into the next great unifying phase. Unifying. Aquarius energy, right? That's right. So, desperately want to tell somebody you love them? You might not want to do it tonight. Even the gesture can be mistaken for something else. The moon in Sagittarius is square Mercury in Pisces. So, if you're not in it for the long haul, you could be sussed out and exposed. Side hustles make us better. Side pieces will complicate your vibrational and lower your vibrational level. Now, whatever Venus is feeling in Pisces, remember that she is the ruler of Libra. And a contract is a contract. All right. So, what do I got for an event? In 1906, the British battleship HMS Dreadnought launches after only 100 days. It took 100 days to build that thing, right? And it renders all other capital ships that are bigger than, say, cruiser class, obsolete with its revolutionary design. Yep. Steam turbo powered, steam turbine powered, fire control, all that stuff. Large guns, primarily the large, the complement of it. Why do I like this? Because I like the word dreadnought. It's my guitar, right? It's a dreadnought body. They just sound better, right? It's not that little folksy thing, right? They got a wide body to them. Those are called dreadnought body guitars. And so, anyway, and our birth is Elizabeth Banks, an actress, 52 years old. She was in the 40-year-old virgin and man on a ledge, and she's born in 1974 in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. So we're showing the other end of the state a little bit of love, even if they're Yankees fans for the most part, right? That's right. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Keep doing the nice things, right? I love the comments. They've been fantastic lately. So our keyword is budding, as in budding romances or budding just creativity, right? The creativity that's budding, that's starting to bubble up within all of us, right? We're getting back to doing some good things, hopefully. And I hope you're on board with that. And our color is royal blue. Today is a 6. Happy astrocatting.